I'm Sam Rose. I'm the department's new Director for Data and Advanced Analytics, and I'm here today to convince you, if you're not already, that transport data is vital to everything that you do, be you academic, local authority, transport service provider, and vital to that kind of shared vision that we all have in terms of improving our transport services. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're doing in the department, as Darren says, and then I'm going to invite you to tell me over the next 24 hours where you think there should be something that the department is doing in the world of transport data that we're not. The facilitation of the movement of people and goods enhances productivity. And we know that investing in our transport systems helps deepen the labour market, stimulates property development, and improves access to international markets by easing access to trade. But what about the data? Well, the data that we collect either deliberately or as a byproduct of running those transport services or adjacent services like mobile network data, for example, all of that data helps us better understand our travelling public. And if we better understand our travelling public or freight, we can design and deliver better transport services. If we are collecting more data, we can do a better job of optimizing our networks, and we can enhance accessibility, making those services available to more people. And unlocking all of this data and sharing more of this data can transform decision making at all levels. That's the decisions that we make personally as passengers on a transport network, the decisions that local authorities make when designing schemes specific to their local area, or the decisions that we make as central government when designing policy or, importantly, those investment decisions. So what are we doing about it? So in the department, we feel like the potential of transport data is not fully realised. So we're developing the Transport Data Action Plan. We think unlocking this valuable asset will come with many challenges because lots of this data is siloed or kept on legacy systems, and there are real and genuine concerns over privacy and security. We're developing this Transport Data Action Plan because we believe that it's important to set a clear vision and direction of travel, both for what the department does itself, but also what we need the sector to do. So why now? I think lots of you will be aware that in 2023, the department published the Transport Data Strategy. And whilst lots of that information is still very valuable and very real, lots has changed since then. So technology has changed significantly, and the context in which we're operating has changed as well. So we've all seen the growth of AI technology since 2022, and the appetite and the momentum and the drive with which departments are expected to utilize this technology to drive efficiencies and improve their public services has increased exponentially. And you'll have seen this in the the AI Opportunities Action Plan, which Alex is going to tell you a little bit more about in a minute, I think, and also the Blueprint for Modern Digital Government. So what are the benefits of us doing this? Why are we doing it now? Well, we think there are many. We think that transport data is a fundamental backbone of integrated transport. So we improve transport data, we can support our integrated national transport strategy. And I think we've all seen how unlocking transport data, particularly in the TfL context and the 2017 Deloitte report, can drive innovation. So, that report shows us that unlocking that particular data has driven something in the realms of, I think, £140 million of economic benefits. So what's it going to contain? What's it going to focus on? We're looking at a user-centered transport system. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the passenger or the bit of freight essentially is central to everything that we want to consider, central to our kind of planning and design process. We think there's a role for the department in setting guiding principles for the governance, protection, and ethical use of transport data. And we want to use this Transport Data Action Plan to enhance the discoverability and access to more transport data. And this is the bit where everybody yawns. Data standards. If we genuinely want our trains to talk to our buses, to talk to our broader transport infrastructure, then we must have data standards and ontologies. And again, we think there's a role for the department as a convening body to be working on those. And of course, we recognise that having the right skills in the right places and driving the investment in our people and platforms is really important as well. So why are we doing all of this work on transport? Let's take a quick look. So you'll all be aware that the way that transport is delivered in this country is a complicated kind of devolved network of public and private sector providers. But as the passenger or the piece of freight, your journeys often cross those boundaries. Now, imagine how digital twins can transform how we experience these transport systems with these virtual replicas of real-world networks driven by real-time data with their AI predictive layers, seamlessly integrating those transport services and optimizing journeys and making public transport a more attractive option for all. In addition, again, we've all seen the potential of AI. We believe that AI can drive significant efficiencies through predictive maintenance, optimizing our networks further, and enhancing safety. But these important technologies fundamentally rely on transport data. So you can't have the whizzy stuff if you don't fix the data first. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about one of the ways in which we're innovating in transport data in the department itself. So you're probably all aware of our big flagship surveys where we capture the kind of the whys, the whos, and the hows of how people are traveling across the network. Those are great, but they're labor intensive and often heavily lagged. We've currently got a discovery project running where between 3,500 and 4,500 people are pottering around various regions in England with a specific app on their mobile phones. And this app is using positional data as well as speed and trajectory to automatically create those transport and travel diaries. At the start of this process, we also collected sort of detailed demographic information so that we could match those people to the DfT's transport personas. And we've also been push surveying kind of once a month on small matters to collect that extra information. So things like the impact of the £3 bus fare or elements of the integrated national transport strategies, call for ideas, for example. So this just shows you 1 month of that data where we've now got this incredibly granular origin destination data set that was generated within near real time, which brings together the kind of who's of the traveling, the hows, but also the whys. And you'll appreciate there's a whole load of natural experiments in there as well, where if there's a train strike or if there's flooding in an area, we can then kind of push survey those people to really understand the impact of those events, but also how that's changed their travel behavior. And we're going to release this as an open data set in the autumn in order to support kind of further research. And we are hoping that our friends in the Treasury think this is a valuable thing to invest in moving forwards. So what are my main takeaways? I'm hoping that you will leave here today recognizing that transport data has the power to drive real and meaningful change, be it underpinning digital twins, be it driving AI, or supporting the integration of transport modes. And that the Transport Data Action Plan, with its clear vision and setting that direction of travel, will be the tool that we need to get us there. That's all from me.